Throughout 2022, assorted right-wing political factions have been unifying in the streets in opposition to drag events, particularly those open to all ages. Events featuring cross-dressing performers often unwittingly saw the streets outside turn into battlefields. On October 23, 2022, about 50 right-wing activists, some armed with weapons, gathered outside Old Nick's pub in Eugene, Oregon, where a drag story time event with an 11-year-old performer took place inside. Activists featuring members of Eugene Antifa came out to support and defend the event. Tensions escalated, at first verbally, between the two sides.
Fuck over that line! Back up! Back up! Get the fuck over that line!
One right-winger wearing a skull mask and vest adorned with box cutters offered a Nazi-style stiff-arm salute.
I think these people will probably be more willing to shoot me right now in this crowd.
Hot dress, picture of that. Like that? I got more. I got 20 more in reserve. Let me know.
Eventually, the side supporting the drag event mimicked a police tactic, forming a line and pushing the right-wingers away step by step.
Move back! Move back! Move back! Move back! Move back! I don't know what you're talking about. Get the fuck out of here! Move back! Move back! Move back! Move back! Move back!
This guy's gonna start back.
Back!
Law enforcement did not intervene.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
Back of us in the corner. Go get fucked up.
Move back! Move back!
Oh, empty are you?
This ultimately escalated into a skirmish between the left and right-wing sides, including rocks, paintball, and smoke grenades.
Spicy.
There were no arrests.
When trans youth are under attack, what do we do? When queer youth are under attack, what do we do?
On December 13th in San Antonio, Texas, armed rival factions showed up outside a drag queen Christmas event taking place inside the Aztec Theater.
Trans lives matter!
Trans lives matter!
Trans lives matter!
Build back better! Build back better! Build back better! Leave those kids alone!
Taking place mere weeks after the Colorado Springs nightclub shooting, the right-wing This Is Texas Freedom Force group planned a protest against the drag event, encouraging attendees to come armed.
We don't allow children into strip clubs. We don't allow them into comedy clubs. We don't allow them into rated R movies. It's 18 and older. Drag queen shows need to be the same way. We've got people in there that are performing, the men with that are scantily dressed with women's lingerie and stuff like that. That's no place for a child. That's why we're here. We could care less about the gay people and what they're doing. What they do with another adult in their bedroom is their business. But whenever you bring underage kids into this, it becomes our business, and we're going to stand against it, and we're going to put a stop to it in Texas.
This prompted the anti-fascist John Brown Gun Club to rally in opposition, promising to defend attendees.
Are you strong? Are you united? Are we going to win? Are we intimidated? Those bigots, those racists, those sexists, they want us to get back. But we ain't getting back. We're going to fight back, right? When they say get back, we say fight back. When they say get back, we say fight back. When they say get back, we say fight back. Fight back.
As the two sides faced off from opposite sides of the street, police kept traffic flowing in between and intervened if anyone crossed to the opposing side.
No, you're antagonizing. Go. Go. Strong families!
Strong nation!
Louder! Strong families!
Strong nation!
Strong families!
2 members of avowed white nationalist group Patriot Front showed up to oppose the show.
Why is Patriot Front here? We're protesting the perversion against children that's going on inside this theater over here.
Come on, gays! Come on, LGBT! Come on, drag queens! Ow!
In total, the event went on for 4 hours as drag supporters, more heavily armed than the right wing, partied and criticized their opponents. Nobody was hurt.
Your heart is full of hate. Time to get right with God, you filthy child of the devil. Time to get right with God, you filthy child of the devil.
On December 29th in Clearwater, Florida, the same drag queen Christmas event took place, prompting similar activists to show up outside, including members of the Proud Boys.
Fucking piss boys! Piss boys!
Oh yeah?
Piss
You a
boys!
fuck boy?
Fucking piss boys! Pee-pee boys!
Maybe you want to back the fuck up.
Fascists go home! Fascists go home! Michael the Archangel. Fascists go home! Oh, God our Father, please. Fascists go home!
Fuel for the fire. You're gonna be fuel for the fire, you wicked man. Fuel for the fire. That's your future. Hellfire. That's your future, you wicked witch. You're gonna burn, witch.
By this time, their main demand, that the show be made accessible to only adults, had already been met.
At this show, you have to be 18 and up. Why did you?
Yeah, this is just trying to get a foothold in society. I've already been to enough drag queen story hours to know. And so that's why we protest these. So they had to back up a little bit instead of having drag queen stories hours at libraries and different places. So now they're just having these drag queen events for 18 and up. That is just until they get a foothold in society, and they'll be back trying to have their drag queen story hours, trying to groom the children.
Now you're just here because you're a homophobe.
They're claiming they changed it.
No, it was changed a week ago.
We want them to know that the LGBT community is loved and that they have so much support from us and that the bigotry is on its way out. This is one of many shows that we've been at, and we will continue to stand out here and show our love and support for the queens and the community.
Racist
You're a
fuck!
child of the devil.
Look at you!
You're wicked. You're wicked. You're wicked in your sin because you don't know God.
Fuck, you gonna cry?
Religious activists argued with anti-fascists as police watched closely, sometimes forcefully separating the two sides.
Both putting hands on each other. Stop. If you're gonna protest peacefully, protest peacefully. Stop getting.
Again, this time, nobody was hurt.
No fascists in New York City!
Shut it down! Shut it down!
That same night, however, December 29th, saw a face-off between pro and anti-drag activists outside the Jackson Heights Public Library in New York City.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Bless your heart! Bless your heart! Bless your heart!
Police scuffled with protesters supporting a drag story hour taking place inside, making one arrest.
Get back! Get back! Get back! Salvo! Salvo! Officers! Get off
Across the street, Proud Boys were again among those protesting the event.
Leave the children alone!
These kids are being groomed. How could you support something so sick and evil?
What's up?
Unlike the events in Oregon and Texas, this time, when a participant showed up and threw a Nazi salute, he was told to leave.
If you're doing the Roman salute, get the fuck out. You don't know them? If you're doing the Roman salute, get the fuck out.
Come on, you don't want you down. Come on, come on. You're just going to do that.
Take him out of here. You're worse than this.
As activists yelled at each other across the street, police kept in between open to press. When one person came dancing through dressed as a unicorn, they were presumed to be on the pro-drag side.
I'll shove this up your fucking ass, bitch boy.
You got a fat fucking head. You got a fat head. Your head looks like an Italian meatball. You got an Italian meatball with a fucking piece of prosciutto on your face.
Fuck you, you fucking brown boys.
Fuck the brown boys.
Let's go.
Ultimately, tensions escalated as the groups began to disperse. Opponents of the drag show were confronted as they left, and some were maced.
I hope you're brave enough to ride the train. Fuck your brown boys.
I'm really dizzy. I feel like I'm gonna piss.
You got that milk and magnesia?
It's all right.
It was that kid with the pink mask and the goggles. Where's he at?
Stop taking pictures.
Get around here. Yo, Dom, get around here. Huh? Get around here.
Look what they do.
What are you doing? Yeah, real fucking tough. Hey. Relax.
NYPD escorted the anti-drag group away, ultimately letting them into the subway system while holding back their rivals and media.
I just need you.
Oh, I have to pay for the fare, but they don't?
Right.
Is that the situation you're saying?
That's correct. Right now, it's a safety concern.
According to data published by Jay Ulfelder at Harvard's Crowd Counting Consortium, year-over-year violence and injuries at right-wing protests dropped in 2022 compared to 2021, but demonstrations against LGBTQ+ events saw a historic rise, particularly targeting drag story hours. From the presence of mace, to unicorn costumes, to firearms, the exterior of drag events appear poised to remain potential battlefields throughout 2023.
Good meeting you. Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good meeting you guys.
Ford Fisher, News to Share, with additional footage by Mason Lake, Dave Decker, and John Farina for Activism Uncensored, a collaboration with TK News.